Welcome to another episode of Distilled Conversation. I'm Brian,
I'm Gavin.
and today we're going to be reviewing another whiskey, discussing another topic. Topic is going to be Deion and Bo. Not a comparison, just recognizing the greatness of two players. What is our whiskey today there, Gavin?
Okay, today we have Bondstone Double Oak Rye Whiskey. I'm not really a rye guy, but I was at the liquor store the other day and I was like, all right, I want something different. So I was looking at scotches, looking at bourbons, seeing something maybe I haven't tried before, but I'm not really a rye guy. So one of my contacts in there, the guy that usually helps me out at Total Wine, he said, hey, you want to try this rye? I said, I'm not really a rye guy. He says, listen, try it. If you don't like it, cool. And I remember on the last episode, we had tried, what was it, a bourbon rye?
Yes.
Or a bourbon rye mix, something like that. And it was actually very
Whitmire's.
good. Yeah, Whitmire's. It was actually really good. So I said, all right, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I had a bottle of, I believe I had a bottle of scotch in my hand. So I went and tried it. No, I know it. No, I had a bottle of single malt American whiskey in my hand.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do for this episode. I tried this, swished it around in my mouth a little bit, drank it down. I said, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about here, but I think I like this. Got another hit of it, swished it around. I put the American single malt down, picked up a bottle of this Bondstone. I said, I can't wait to show Brian this because, you know, he's a rye guy. And if it sold me, it's definitely got to sell him.
And I'm thinking that it sold you pretty well because you bought it for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you people can see the bottle. But
my bad. I'm sorry.
The last two episodes, we've opened cleanly 2 bottles for you guys. And we're going to have bottles that will be our own bottles that we like, that will be at this level, that we'll also review. But this was a brand new bottle.
It was. Well, hey, okay. Let me explain.
So, I may have converted him. No, not really.
You know, I love my scotch.
Yeah,
but
you love your scotch.
Here's the deal. So, I've always been told ryes are great for old fashions.
Yeah,
and my go-to drink, if I'm not drinking neat, is either an old fashioned or a variation of a Negroni, which when you use whiskey, I think it's called a Belvedere or Boulevardier. I can never pronounce it, but you can look it up.
Yeah.
So those are my go-tos. So I started playing with this a little bit, beating it up basically is what I call it, mixing it with an old-fashioned recipe.
Okay.
My tried and true. And I wasn't in love with it. I started thinking, I bought this, but you know, I'm not as crazy about it as I was in a liquor store. So then me and my wife were, you know, just hanging out, watching a show and just vibing, you know. And I said, hey, let me go pour a little something. So I poured it neat, sipped it a little bit. And I was like, I like this neat. But I'm still not computing in my brain that I actually like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in my mind, it's okay. I'm enjoying this, but I'm not putting it together. I'm actually liking a rye. Then I went and get a second tasting of it. I went for a third and I was like, yeah, I think this is going to make my rotation. I like this neat. I don't want to play with it in simple syrup and bitters and all that stuff. I like this Bondstone Double Oak Rye Whiskey. Neat. This, honestly, of all the ryes I've had, this is the one that will actually make my rotation in the house.
Crafter did good on this particular bottle.
For me, I don't know about anybody. For me,
yeah.
Let's have a taste.
So just so everyone knows, we started the episode, had a problem with recording. So yeah, we're gonna give our opinions on it once more again.
%50 alcohol. I'm not scared of burn at all.
No, there's almost none.
But
almost none.
It doesn't drink like it's 50%. It's got a little heat to it, but there's definitely like a Skittles flavor to it. Orange chocolate. It's got a nice finish. Well, you see how much I drank, right? Okay, so what do you think?
Well, like I said before, it gives me that orange chocolate vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've ever had one of the orange chocolates or chocolate oranges that you break that have kind of a orange flavor to it, this is what it gives me, at least on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
When I taste it. I get a little bit of spice on the front end, but on the back end, I get that orange texture to it. But it gives me that orange kind of chocolate orange, very hint on the back end. A little spice on the front end from the rye. You looked up the mash build, very high.
Very high rye. Very high rye. It's about, from what I saw on what I saw, 95% rye, 5% malted barley, very high rye. This is, all ryes are not created equal. This one right here, I'm highly impressed with. Now, as all ryes, there's going to be a baking spice note to it. And that's usually the thing that probably puts me off a little bit.
It puts a lot of people off. It's very forward, but this one, not so much.
It's not so much. I taste even
at 95%. You would think it would just completely like override your mouth, with the spice note.
But this right here, I'm okay with this. Right, like I said, it's making my rotation. Actually, you know what I'm going to try? Actually, you know what? There's still enough left that I can put a little bit of water in here. Now, if you've watched other episodes, you know what I do. Take a little water in here, swish it around, pour it out, and now I just want to put 1 or 2 drops in. 1, 2, 3. I went with 3 or 4 drops, sorry. But I want to see what happens.
I do like a little bit of, the rice that I drink at home, I normally have on the rocks. I have a round rock. My ice maker makes them. And
hey, you know what happened? In that little bit of rye that I had left, those couple of drops, to me, I tasted more of the chocolate note. To me, it got a little sweeter. Very pleasurable. I like this, man. I do.
Definitely a good rye for individuals that want to be like in your situation, want to try something different, dabble in, even with as high of mash build as it is with 95% rye, 5% barley, I think it said. Just definitely just very nice, very pleasant, very smooth. The smell is just really good on the nose.
It's got a really pleasing smell too. You know, I like it. You know, and you know what I was watching last night when me and my wife were just hanging out. I was watching a little bit of Bo Jackson, a little bit of Deion Sanders. And not to take away from the rye, but they had definitely gotten my attention.
No, I really like to do our whiskey, but I'm looking forward to this topic of conversation. This is not like our first episode where it was a comparison to MJ or LeBron.
Right.
This is us appreciating both individuals and what they were able to contribute on both the gridiron and the diamond.
Yeah.
You know?
On the gridiron, the diamond, and even, honestly, even as men.
Oh, yeah.
Even as men.
No, some of the videos I've watched, the Club Shay Shay video with Deion, and then some of the interviews that I watched with Bo Jackson, just how they carry themselves. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody would tell you, Deion, he was arrogant. He was very boastful, but he was that because he knew what he was worth. He knew the ability that he brought to the field. Every time he played, every time he laced up shoes, every time he put on a helmet, he knew that what he was going to be contributing to that game was going to be his 100%, all of him, you know. And he would actually, I think Deion talks about confronting teammates when they didn't step up and do their part. There's an interview where Deion is talking about a pattern that was supposed to happen, and one of his teammates was supposed to cover over as he pulled off, and because his teammate didn't cover over, it looked like Deion was falling short.
Was getting burnt.
Was missing the play.
Yeah.
And he confronted him about it. And the guy was like, it's no big deal. No, it is.
Yeah.
It is a big deal.
Right.
Because you're not going to be the one that makes me look bad.
Exactly.
You know? So, you know, the arrogance of the individual is only because the individual knew what his ability was on the field. You know,
Deion made a good point. He was talking about how he would never lead the league in receptions or anything like that because they just wouldn't throw to his side. He's making a play by having them not make plays.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the quarterbacks, they might throw one or two in that direction, thinking they got him. All of a sudden they say, you know what, this guy's I can't judge his speed. So Steve Young admitted, he says, in the beginning of my career, I wouldn't throw on his side. I just wouldn't. I'll go over here, but because Deion, you think that's enough room. He can't cover it. This guy could cover it, you know? And then...
Well, anytime he would intercept, you had to worry not only the interception...
Taking it to the house. Yes, you know, indeed.
His end goal was not just to take that ball away from you, but to score 6 on you. Absolutely. On the opposite side of the field.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, and this guy was good enough to go to baseball. You know, he played in the World Series. So when you're playing in the World Series, you got to, you know, you're not on the team just because of your name. You're on the team because you can play.
Mm-hmm.
But he did admit, he said the hardest thing he ever had to do was hit that damn ball, you know, which I commend him for. He said, for him, football is always easy. But he said when you get in front of that spot and they're pitching at you, and these pitchers are doing some incredible things with that
coming
ball.
down 90, 95 miles.
And then turning and things like that. He said that is the hardest thing he's ever done. You know, so, you know, I hats off to him. But here's the thing that I really took away from watching and learning about Deion. For all his bravado, for all the stuff he talks about, you know, he was braggadocious and all that stuff, and rightly so. You know, he was good enough to do that.
Yeah. He was able to back it up.
He was able to back up everything he said. Here's the thing that I really took away from watching him. How much he cares about his kids. I mean his team, his football kids. Like, he said, and this is the part that kind of hit me in the heart. He said, 95% of these kids that we have are not going to the NFL. He's just straight up honest. He says, 95% of them are not going to the NFL. I got to prepare those kids to be doctors, to be lawyers, to be congressmen, to be pillars of this society, to be good fathers, to be good men, to be good husbands. He says, I still got a responsibility to them too, to get them somewhere. The guys that are going pro, yeah, I got a little special package for them. But for those other 95% that I got to make them right. And that touched me, because in team sports, a lot of coaches have their favorites. And those favorites, those superstars, get all the special treatment. The other guys, they're not cared about as much. The way Deion spoke, everybody in his locker room is important for different reasons, but they're important. And that, you know, he used to live out here in right in Prosper. And if I were to see him now, I might stop and shake his hand and say, "Yo, man, I forget all that sports stuff. I respect you as a man."
Yeah, well, his legacy after retirement, I think, in the end, is going to overshadow his legacy during his profession, because I can almost foresee it where he's sitting, as you would see, kind of in a room, and they ask individuals that stand up that Deion had a tremendous impact in their life. What do you do? You know, I'm a lawyer. What do you do? I'm a doctor. What do you do? I'm a state senator. What do you do? And you know, why is that? Because that man expected the best out of me, and wouldn't accept anything but that. Not only just on the field, but what he required of these individuals, these kids, academically,
yes,
morally, you know. I mean, he talks about contracts happen to be signed by these kids that played for him, stating that, you know, in being part of the team, this was going to be the expectation that you were going to do as far as your grades. This was going to be the expectation you do as far as how you acted off this field as well as on this field, you know? And for me, that is amazing to see an individual step up and say, you know, that I'm going to be accountable for the lives that I have influence on, you know. And Deion definitely does that, and did that. You know, did that in the kids leagues, did that in the high school setting, did that now, does that now in the college setting, you know.
Yeah. I tell you, like I said, man, I really, when I started digging in a little deeper and really paying attention, because he used to live out here and he wasn't as approachable as you would like,
Yeah.
you know. And he'd tell you in a minute, hey, look, man, I'm having dinner with my family, or hey, we're at the barbershop right now, you know, but he was very like, if you were his friend, you were his friend. But if he didn't know you, it's like, look, unless there's something specific going on here, you know. But I'm cool with that. You know, if you want your privacy, cool. If you're a good person, that's all I care about. If you're making the world a little better for somebody, and he's got a lot of somebodies underneath his tutelage, I'm cool with that. You don't owe me or any other fan nothing. You know, just keep building young men, young boys into men. You know, keep doing that. And, you know, now I got to talk about my guy, Bo.
Yeah. Bo was a phenomenon, likes that we have never seen before.
I agree.
And will never see afterwards. Mm-hmm. Regardless of him being a two-sport athlete, regardless of the sport, if he would have 100% focused on one or the other, there would be no debate on who had been the best running back of all time, or who would have been the best fielder of all time. You know, the greatest tragedy was his career being cut short.
And it was a fluke. And it was a fluke how he got hurt.
Yeah.
You know, it was like he was running, got grabbed his leg, and if it wasn't for how strong he was and how hard he was pushing, that might not have happened. Hey, that happened to me one episode.
Yeah. I'm getting better at that.
Might have went down the wrong pipe, people.
All right. We'll leave that in just as payback.
So,
anyway, sorry, I cut you off.
Hey, no, we're good. So, him playing football, but baseball player first, because he said, listen, these guys signed me. I'm playing with them. And then when my season is finished, I'll go do whatever I want. And he went straight to football with no training camp.
No training camp. But here's the thing. He almost did football first.
Almost. But
Tampa Bay lied to him and told him, to this day, I don't understand why you all you had to do is tell the man no, we haven't consulted the NCAA and get this proved.
He could have got on his own flight and made it over there, you know.
But because he accepted a gift, as they saw it, when he sat down and interviewed Tampa, and I was listening to another podcast. Convince Me was the name of the podcast, where they do a comparison against the two individuals on who was the better dual sport athlete. And you know, one of the information that they provided on that particular podcast was that they provided all this reassurance to Bo that everything was okay, and then when he goes back to Auburn, he gets told, not only was it not okay, but now you're ineligible and you can't finish out the rest of your playing season, which was baseball. That's his passion and love, you know? And the contract that they were offering Bo, because he was drafted first round, the contract that they were offering Bo was a $7 million contract. And Bo told them, if you draft me,
I ain't messing with you.
I will walk away. And he turned down a $7 million contract to play playing football to play baseball.
For how much? What was it?
It's 100,000, I think it was. Let me look at my notes.
I thought it was like maybe at 1 point something million.
No,
Was
it was minuscule what he walked away. The contract was $7.8 million that they had offered him to play for Tampa.
Well, you're talking about a man of integrity.
3 years, $1 million. So it was $300,000 a year.
3 years, $1 million. And he walked away from another
$7 million contract.
Man of integrity. You know, I gotta tip my hat to that.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I definitely understand the mindset of, if I can't trust your word, I can't trust you.
No. You know, if you're shady, I'm not messing with you. I don't care what you're putting out there. You know, and he stayed with them. And here's the thing, right? Because they showed faith in him, they showed faith in him, he showed faith in them, because he made sure he finished that season with KC.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever it was over, okay, I'm going to play football. But he would come into it half the season, no training camp, but he made sure he was there for that baseball.
Well, not only no training camp, but would still finish the football season an elite running back.
Yeah.
Averaging there
was sometimes he was averaging like 12 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Some games, you know? Well, here's my thing. This is what I really loved. He went to the Raiders. Probably my all-time favorite owner in sports is Al Davis. Just win, baby. Just win. He didn't care about all the optics and all that other stuff. I don't care what you did in your past or whatever. If you can get on this field and play, I'm with you. He was not scared of what's the word I'm looking for? Public opinion.
Yeah.
Just win, baby. And he took Bo and he said, hey, look, you coming in the middle of the season? I don't care. Come on. If you can produce, let's do it. Yeah. And Bo went there and produced, man. That dude was a monster, man.
He was a beast, you know.
He was a monster.
I think one of my favorite videos that I watched was a video of Deion talking about the one and only interaction he had with Bo Jackson on the field. Him on the defensive side being a freshman with Florida State University, Bo on the offensive side with Auburn, and Bo getting tossed the ball, running left, Deion catching up to him, and Bo, as Deion placed his hand on his head, blessed him in the name of Jesus to be a tremendous and great sports figure in baseball and football, as he laid him to the ground and ran for the touchdown.
Here's kudos to Deion. As braggadocious as he was, as much as he would talk about himself, that man never hesitated to give somebody else their due. You know, and you know, kudos, Deion.
As he said, without Bo, there is no prime.
You know what I mean? He was like, he gave Bo his prime. And another thing Deion said, when they were saying how Deion was like the cornerback of all cornerbacks and everything like that, he was on Shannon Sharp's thing, and Shannon Sharp was saying all the top receivers that he played against, and he mentioned Shannon Sharp's brother, Sterling Sharp, right? And Deion said immediately, hey, that joker was just too strong, too big, too physical. I couldn't do nothing with that guy.
Yeah.
You know? And he, on national TV, he said, listen, That man right there. So that just shows, listen, I'm not going to sit here and get on TV and because nobody's around, I can lie. But he lets you know his flaws. He left himself. He has enough accolades that he can talk about what he couldn't do. You know? So, like I said, I if you dig in deep on Deion Sanders, I think you're going to be surprised at what you find out. He's actually a solid dude, very solid dude. But we were on the subject of Bo, and I don't want to get off of that. Again. Bo, man, could run faster than the wind, stronger than steel. And you know what they don't talk about, they always talk about how strong he was and how far he threw the ball and what he hit and things like that. But here's something that I haven't heard anybody talk about. How accurate he was with his arm. To throw somebody out from the warning track all the way to home plate.
Yeah. On a bounce.
Did it bounce? Or there's rumors saying that it never bounced.
No. If you see the throw, it bounces right before home plate, and the catcher catches it and comes down and tags the runner.
Well, here's the deal. Do you know how hard it is?
No. It's extremely
to hit the catcher from there in a desperate move. I mean, remember, your adrenaline's going. You got to get this dude out, and he wings it. And to be that accurate, to hit the man's glove, people don't talk about how accurate this guy was.
No, it has been said, and I think I mentioned it before, if he would have focused on one side or the other, he would have been the most dominant baseball or football player that we've ever seen. If he would have focused on baseball, Barry Bonds would have still been chasing his home runs.
I'm not sure about that one, bro.
Oh, come on. The dude was super strong.
Yeah, I know, but Barry Bonds, I don't know about that one, bro. We might have to do an episode on that. But listen, Bo didn't focus on one sport. Got it. Bo, a beast. That Barry Bonds guy, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's allegations of the steroids, and Bo was natural.
Yeah.
Bo was 100% natural. Everything he did, he didn't have any enhancement, nothing. He was just, Charles Barkley said, Bo was the same size in high school that he was in college. That means Bo was a freaking monster. He damn near came out the womb. So, if Bo would have focused on one sport, we would have seen some records broken. I agree with that. I agree with that. But who that Barry Bonds? He's a bad boy, man.
No, he's a bad boy. Barry Bonds.
He's a bad boy. He's a bad boy, man. But man, imagine if he just played football. Because I think that's what he in my heart, I've seen the interviews, I've seen what he said and all that. In my heart, I kind of think he wanted to play that football. But Tampa Bay, not going to use any profanity. They screwed him. Yeah. Tampa Bay really soured his taste for that aspect, so.
Well, not only did they sour his taste, but because of the way the draft is set up, if I remember things correctly, there's a grace period that he had to wait before he could enter back into the draft.
Exactly.
Because he was still considered claimed by Tampa.
Yeah.
So he had to wait this grace period because of this team that messed him up, messed him over in Auburn with his last season of baseball, who he told, don't draft me.
Yeah. Well, they screwed themselves, too, because they didn't have a winning season for 10 years. But could you imagine if he went to football and concentrated on that and had training camps? Could you imagine him with training camps? Oh my God, man! I mean, there were games he's averaging 12 yards a touch, 11 yards a touch, 9 yards a touch. I mean, that's amazing. With no training camp.
Let's see.
Barely knowing the plays. This dude was a monster.
So his rookie year, 554 yards, 81 carries, 6.8 yards per carry, 7 games, 6 touchdowns.
But what I'm saying is there were games where he was averaging, like 11 or 12
No,
games.
but I'm just saying.
Yeah. This dude was a monster. This dude, listen, a beast is a lion. This dude was Godzilla. But I mean, he could, if he didn't unluckily get injured, it was so unlucky for him. And you know what? Right now, he's like a world-class archer or something like that, from what I've heard. What he can do with his hands, I mean, his hand-eye coordination is just off the charts, really.
Well, any other injury, he would have been able to bounce back from.
Yes.
But the fact that he sustained such a traumatic injury to his hip, it went undiagnosed for as long as it went, causing it to go necrotic.
Exactly.
That is what was the death. If they were able to identify it early and treat him, repair it, I think that his career would have been fine. He would have been out a season, maybe 2, but his career probably would have been fine. But the fact that he injured himself to the point where that injury completely, it basically retired his football career and shortened his
baseball career. Yeah. 100%. And I tell you, the baseball teams, though, they had so much love for him that, they, even when he couldn't really run like that anymore, they still said, hey, come on in. And what was that thing about, I think his mother had passed and he...
Mm-hmm. So during his rehab, his mother was alive, and he told his mom that when I come back on the field, I'm going to hit a home run for you. And during the rehab process, his mom passed away. His first at-bat coming off of rehab, home run.
That is focus. That is dedication to focus. I don't
know if I would have been able to run the bases. You would have probably had to have somebody with me. I probably would have dropped to my knees for a moment.
Maybe. Yeah.
If not at the beginning, definitely at the end.
Of course, I believe there's a time in everybody's life where their focus is just as laser it could be, and like there's something you want so bad, nothing's going to get in your way. And I think that's what he had that day at bat. It's like, I don't care what this man throws. I'm not going to sugar honey iced tea out of this ball.
Yeah.
I don't care what he throws. And I believe that's the focus he had, because his first at bat, coming back from rehab, his first at bat, he's got the focus. Deion Sanders already said it's the hardest thing he's ever had to do, because Deion Sanders was great at everything, all through his life: basketball, football, baseball, track and field, all that stuff. Deion Sanders has always been great, and he said the hardest thing he had to do was hit that bit. Bo comes back after rehab, first game. First at bat.
I don't know if it was the first swing or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the first swing where he,
Man, look, that Bo was different, and where I really feel how different Bo was? When you watch other players who Hall of Famers, who were great, not good, but great, when they talk about Bo, Steve Young's face is just like, oh, hey, I don't want that guy mad at me. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Bo was this, Bo was that, whatever. Deion Sanders, talks
Well,
about Bo.
here's how great Bo was. There's 2 times at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
There's the official time,
Mm-hmm.
4.21 seconds. There's the unofficial time for the 40, 4.13 seconds.
Is that really?
Yes. So there's 2 times at the combine. So officially, the fastest 40 on record is 4.21 seconds, done by, and I have it in my notes. I don't have it in my notes.
Okay.
But unofficially, the fastest 40 is Bo at 4.13 seconds. And even though everybody is going to beat the 4.21, everyone tries to beat Bo's time at 4.13. You know, so there's 2 times that people attempt to beat.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's on record
And the unofficial.
and the unofficial. Yeah,
Was it 4.13 or 4.16?
No, 4.13.
Hold on. I gotta try this. Hold on. Let me see here. Bo Jackson, 40-yard dash. Yeah, 4.13. Woo, at 230 pounds. 230 pounds for 4.13. Good Lord.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know, the story of Deion,
Mm-hmm.
40.
Mm-hmm.
No warm-up.
No warm-up. The cheetah doesn't have to stretch before going for the prey. That's a bad boy right there, man.
They both were bad boys.
They were both.
And I think that's the difference that you know, we see in the relation between Bo and Deion and the relation between LeBron and Mike. Bo and Deion recognize the greatness of each other.
Agreed.
And don't look to disparage the other person's accomplishments.
Agreed.
You know? And, you know, it's probably the main reason why this episode is an appreciation of what they did on the field, not a comparison of what they did.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Number one, because it would be unfair. Mm-hmm. Bo's time was cut short drastically because of his injury.
Totally.
But number two, because the 2 individuals had so much love and recognition for each other that it would be an insult to them to debate that.
Yeah.
You know, now anybody else can, if your podcast, your show wants to debate who's greater, by all means, go ahead. Like I said, there was one that I watched today. They put out good points, but in the end, my opinion is they were both great.
Yeah.
One was a great offensive football player. One was a great defensive football player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were great outfielders. In the
they both played outfield because they were so fast.
Deion's specialty, stealing bases.
Bo stole some bases too.
But Bo's specialty, hitting them homers.
Putting it out.
You know?
MVP of the All-Star game. So you're playing with the best of the best in the world. And in that All-Star game, he shined the brightest. Yeah. In my opinion, his second best sport. In my opinion. I think if he gave football 100%, or if he gave baseball, I still think football, that man would have been the man.
No, I absolutely, because he came in with a baseball athlete's body, you know, and had to condition. It took him a couple weeks now to condition himself into a running back.
Yeah,
you know, and he was still able to do the things he was able to do on the field. You know, to imagine, like you said, him actually dedicating the time during the off season, 100% for football, during the preseason, coming in game 1 what he would have done. He probably would have never sustained that injury. You know,
Maybe not. Maybe not. Man, to see somebody that gifted, you know, I mean, he was like, it was damn near not human, you know, see somebody that gifted to be able to do the things that we can't even, I can't even dream about doing some of those things, you know, the speed. I mean, he ran up that wall catching that ball. And it wasn't like a gimmick. It wasn't like, he was just going so fast. He said, hey, I got to do something.
It'd be interesting if that's what inspired the concept of Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. Who's that?
Black Spider-Man.
Black Spider-Man. Okay.
Because I don't think Miles Morales was a conceived character in the 80s.
You know?
Yeah.
I tell
Look
you.
at that man running up the wall like Spider-Man.
Well, I tell you. Bad boy right there. Whew.
All right.
Well,
so I think that's going to be where we end this particular video. You're going to take a little sabbatical?
yeah, well, not too much of a sabbatical. You know, I'm just going, going back home to New York, you know, and hang out there for a couple of days, you know, see my old basketball team, hang out with them, you know, and just catch with some guys I haven't seen in about 35 years, you know, so.
And then I know I said I'm going to hold off on saying what we plan on doing, but our next episode, I did mention when we get closer to the retirement of Kobe Bryant, that our podcast was going to be based around him, the conversation portion.
That's going to be a good one.
So
that's going to be a good one.
So that's our next podcast when you come back, is to remember and lift up Kobe, recognize the greatness that was him. I'm going to have a couple of videos queued up of individuals talking about, and then us responding to those stories. And then basically looking over his last game and what he was able to do his last game on the court as a professional basketball player.
Stay tuned.
So until then, thanks for watching our video. Drink responsibly and have a great one.